The weight of silence pressed heavily on Gao Tu. Every corner of his apartment echoed with the memories of a love he could never openly claim. He had loved Shen Wenlang for over 10 years, quietly, endlessly, with a devotion that had shaped every choice he had ever made. The truth of who he really was, a hidden omega, was something he had carried in secret, carefully masked from the world, hidden behind layers of calm composure and meticulous control. But now, the truth was more fragile than ever. He carried Wenlang's child, a living proof of their connection, yet it was also a symbol of the dangers that lay ahead. The child was a promise and a threat all at once, and Gao Tu's mind could not rest. Every day was a struggle to maintain composure. Gao Tu moved through his apartment carefully, every step measured, every motion deliberate.
Even the simplest acts, pouring water, adjusting a pillow, standing from the couch, became exercises in caution.
His body had grown weaker under the strain of pregnancy and the lingering effects of long-term suppressant use.
Yet he pushed forward, driven by love, by hope, by the desperate need to survive for the child he carried.
With each flutter of life within him, he felt both reassurance and fear. It was a constant reminder that the future, uncertain and dangerous, rested entirely in his hands. The longing for Wenlang was unbearable. Every memory of the man, the subtle gestures, the quiet kindnesses, the rare but treasured glances was etched deeply into Gao Tu's heart. He wanted nothing more than to hear the words he had yearned for so long.
"I'm sorry. I love you." Words that could ease the endless ache in his chest, words that could validate the years of silent devotion. But Wenlang remained distant, unaware of the child, unaware of the truth, unaware of the storm of emotions and danger swirling in Gao Tu's life. The silence became a suffocating presence, amplifying every fear, every pain, every lonely heartbeat.
Each evening, as night fell, the quiet of the apartment grew heavier. Gao Tu would sit by the window, gazing out at the city lights, imagining a world where he could be honest, where he could confess everything without fear. He imagined Wenlang beside him, his warmth, his touch, the safety he had longed for but could never fully claim. He whispered to the child, "One day, you will know your father. One day, you will know your father. One day, you will see the love I have carried for him for all these years." The words, though soft, carried the full weight of Gao Tu's heart, a mixture of hope, devotion, and unspoken sorrow. The pregnancy, though a source of strength, also brought relentless challenges. Gao Tu's body was taxed beyond what he had ever imagined, weakened by years of suppression, and now strained further by the needs of new life. Contractions, nausea, fatigue, and the constant fear of miscarriage created a pressure that never relented. Yet he endured, pushing through pain and fear with an unwavering determination. Every movement of the child became a signal to persevere, every flutter a silent encouragement, every tiny heartbeat a reminder that he could not falter, that he must continue no matter the cost. Isolation compounded the emotional weight. He could not reveal his condition to anyone, not his friends, not his family, not Wenlang. The secret was a heavy burden, a constant presence that pressed down on him like an invisible hand.
Each sound in the apartment, each creak of the floor, each distant noise outside felt magnified,
a potential threat to the fragile peace he maintained. Yet, even in solitude, Gao Tu found moments of connection with the life inside him. He spoke to the child constantly, sharing his thoughts, his dreams, his love, creating a bond that was at once intimate and essential for his survival. Memory and longing collided in Gao Tu's mind. He replayed moments from the past, the rare times Wenlang had shown affection, the subtle ways he had demonstrated care. These memories became both a balm and a torment, a bittersweet mixture of hope and yearning. Gao Tu wished he could hear Wenlang say the words that would heal his heart, acknowledge his existence, and perhaps begin to bridge the impossible gap that had separated them for so long. But reality remained harsh, and Gao Tu could only dream and wait, holding on to the fragile thread of hope that one day the truth could be revealed safely. The danger was ever present. Gao Tu knew that carrying a child alone, without an alpha's support, without anyone knowing,
was a precarious endeavor. Every strain on his body, every sudden movement, every minor accident could have disastrous consequences. The awareness of risk heightened his caution, forcing him to live with hypervigilance and careful calculation. Yet even in this constant vigilance, Gao Tu found strength. The child represented a reason to endure, a purpose beyond his own survival. Love and devotion intertwined, creating a fortitude that kept him moving forward despite fear, despite pain, despite isolation. Even as the days grew longer and more exhausting, Gao Tu found moments of fragile joy. He imagined a future where he could be honest, where Wenling would know everything, where love could exist openly and freely. Each small movement from the child sparked hope, a reminder that life could endure against all odds. Gao Tu would whisper to the child in quiet tones, sharing stories of the man he loved, tales of resilience, courage, and devotion. These moments, small and intimate, became the lifeblood that carried him through the endless challenges of pregnancy and secrecy. Emotionally, Gao Tu was stretched to his limits. The desire for connection, the yearning to be acknowledged and loved by Wenling, created a tension that was nearly unbearable. He longed for the warmth of an embrace, the reassurance of whispered words, the validation of love from the man who had unknowingly changed his life forever. Yet reality forced him into continued solitude, forcing him to rely on inner strength and the bond he shared with the child. Every heartbeat of life within him became a symbol of hope, every flutter a testament to endurance. Every movement a reminder that he could survive, endure, and wait for the day that love could be openly expressed. Pain remained a constant companion. Gao Tu experienced waves of discomfort, sudden sharp pains, and ongoing fatigue that drained his energy. Yet he refused to surrender. He learned to breathe through the pain, to focus on the present, and to draw strength from the child he carried. Each trial became a measure of his resilience. Each challenge a testament to his unwavering commitment to life, love, and hope. He endured, not just for himself, but for the child, for the possibility of future happiness, and for the love that had silently defined his existence for over a decade. Through it all, Gao Tu's spirit remained unbroken. The pregnancy tested him in every possible way, physically, emotionally, and mentally, but it also revealed the depths of his strength and the immensity of his love. Each day was a battle, each moment a challenge, yet he persisted, driven by devotion and the unspoken bond that tied him to both Wenling and the child growing within. Every heartbeat, every flutter, every whisper of life became a source of fortitude, a signal that survival was possible, and that love could endure even the harshest trials. And so, Gao Tu endured. He survived the pain, the fear, the isolation, and the unrelenting strain of carrying life in secrecy. His love for Wenling, unspoken yet profound, guided every action, every decision, every sacrifice. The child inside him was not just a life, but a living connection to the man he loved, a bridge across years of longing and silence. Through suffering and endurance, Gao Tu discovered the full power of devotion, the resilience of the human spirit, and the enduring force of love that transcends distance, secrecy, and danger. The nights were always the hardest. When the world outside went quiet and there was nothing to distract him, Gao Tu found himself drowning in memories of Wenling. He thought about the first time he noticed Wenling's smile, not the polite, distant smile he gave to others, but a genuine one, small but real, that lit up his entire face. That memory had stayed with him, etched into his heart like a scar that never healed. And now, when pain tore through his body, when loneliness clawed at his spirit, he clung to that memory as if it were his lifeline. What he wanted more than anything was simple, but impossibly far away. He wanted to hear Wenling's voice soften, to hear him say the words he had dreamed about for years. Gao Tu, I'm sorry. I love you. Every whisper of those words in his imagination gave him the strength to survive another day. Gao Tu knew that Wenling didn't see him the way he longed to be seen. Wenling thought of him as a beta, a loyal companion, someone reliable but unremarkable. He didn't know Gao Tu's truth, his hidden Omega identity, the suppressants that had concealed it. or the child growing within him.
Wenlang didn't know how much Gao Tu had sacrificed, how much he had endured just to stay by his side. And yet, Gao Tu's love never faltered.
It remained constant, unwavering, even as it broke him inside. The pregnancy was not merciful. Each day, it demanded more of him.
His body was weak, stretched thin by years of suppressants, and now burdened by life growing inside.
The pains were sharper now, the fatigue heavier, the risks greater.
Sometimes he would collapse against the wall, clutching his abdomen, praying in silence for the strength to endure.
"Please, just let me hold on," he whispered to no one in particular, his voice trembling.
And when the faint flutter of movement stirred within him, it was as if the child answered his plea. The smallest signs of life filled him with courage.
He would hold his stomach, tears in his eyes, and whisper to the unborn child, "You are my strength. You are the proof of my love. No matter what happens, I will not give up on you."